Good morning, students. In the previous class, we discussed about what are the various phyla in the invertebrates. So today we discuss about the different phyla in the vertebrates. So before discussing the vertebrates, so there is a bridge between the vertebrates and invertebrates. So they are called as protochordata. Protochordata. So these are the animals. These are the animals. So in these animals, this special type of structure is present. So that is called as notochord. Notochord. So this cord means string. So you may call it as a backbone. So a long bone, a long string-like structure is present in some part of their lifetime, sometime in their life, which separates the nervous system from the gut, means from the stomach or intestine. So this is called as the notochord, and these animals are comes under protochordata. Means before the chordata, what changes they observed in the animals, they comes under protochordata. So for example, they have given here in the protochordata example, they have given Herdmania and Amphioxus. They have seen here Herdmania and Amphioxus. So they are the animals in their lifetime, not throughout their life, but in a part of their lifetime they have this notochord. So now we will discuss about the chordata. Now we will discuss about the chordata. So when you come to this chordata, some biologists divide the phylum Chordata into three subphyla. They divided the Chordata into three subphyla. They are Urochordata, Cephalochordata, Cephalochordata, and Vertebrata. Okay, ma. So now these two you no need to discuss. We will discuss about the vertebrata. So when you come to the vertebrata, these animals have a true notochord. So here in the protochordata, what is it? Here the notochord is present sometime only in their life, but here they have the true notochord, vertebral column. And also internal, the skeletal system is internal. We have the with these animals, they have the internal skeletal system, allowing a completely different distribution of muscle attachment point to be used for movement. And to the skeletal system, the muscles will be attached and they help for the movement of the animal from one place to the other place. Center one, vertebrates are bilaterally symmetrical. Bilaterally symmetrical, I already told. So they will be same from the both the hands. If you see the right side same and the left side also, if you see, they will be looking same. So they are bilaterally symmetrical and triploblastic. Mostly they are triploblastic. The body is made up of three layers of cells. They are ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. And also coelomic and segmented. The body is coelomic. Coelomic means body cavity is present, and also segmented. The body is divided into so many segments. So with complex differentiation of body tissues and organs. So different types of tissues and organs are present in the body. Other different types of tissues we discussed in the third lesson. Isn't it? Four types of major tissues are there. So now we'll discuss about all the chordates possesses the following features. So what are the features of the chordates? The features of the first feature is have a notochord. That's why they are called as vertebrates. They are called as vertebrates because they have the proper vertebral column. The second one they have a dorsal nerve cord. So they have the dorsal side they have the nerve cord that is called as the dorsal nerve cord, and they are have, for few animals, not all the animals, few animals they have the gill pouches. They have the gill pouches, mostly fishes and tadpole larvae of the frog. And they are coelomates, the body cavity is present and have a tail fin. Means so a special tail fin will be present in the reptiles, means in the crocodiles and the fishes. So vertebrates are grouped into 5 classes. So vertebrates are divided into 5 classes. Vertebrates. These vertebrates are divided into how many classes? 5 classes. They are Pisces, amphibians, reptiles, apes. Apes means birds. Fifth one, mammals. So these are the 5 classes of the vertebrates. So first we will discuss about the Pisces. Mostly they are aquatic animals. They live in the water. They present in the water and with the help of their fins, lateral fins and the tail fin, they will move in the swim in the water and they have the gill pouches. The respiration occurs through gills and they are cold-blooded animals. Means they cannot maintain their body temperature constant. So they are cold-blooded animals. And the heart is two-chambered heart. The heart is two-chambered and the body also covered with scales. The body is covered with scales and some fishes the body is not covered with the scales. If the scales are present on the fish, they are called as the bony fishes. If the scales are not present, they are called as the cartilaginous fishes. Okay, ma'am. Mostly bony fishes you can observe in the fresh water and cartilaginous fishes you can observe in the salt water or the marine water. The bony fishes, the skeletal system is made up of bone and the body is covered with the scales. But in the cartilaginous fishes, the skeletal system is made up of cartilage. For example, you can take shark. Shark fish, the body is the skeletal system is made up of cartilage. Okay, and they respire through the gills. Then amphibians. Amphibians, these are the animals which live both in the water as well as on the land. For example, you take frog. Frog is an example for amphibians. Here the heart is three-chambered heart. The heart is three-chambered heart. They respire through skin as well as through the lungs. They respire through skin and lungs too. Okay, so these are also cold-blooded animals. They cannot maintain their body temperature constant. When they live in the water, the body temperature will changes. When they will be outside, the body temperature will be changes. Both the fishes and amphibians, they are the oviparous. Oviparous means egg-laying animals. Now we will discuss about the reptiles. So reptiles also, they are the cold-blooded animals. So their body is covered with the scales. Mostly they also live in the water as well as in the on the land. Okay, the skin is very rough. The heart is incompletely divided, four-chambered heart. Here heart is three-chambered in the amphibians. In the reptiles, the heart is divided into incompletely divided four-chambered heart, and they are also the egg-laying animals. They are also cold-blooded. So in the next class we will discuss about the birds and the